Hello, it's your Uncle Spurt here, and today we're going to get all intimate with Xiaomi's first dinky flip style phone, the Xiaomi Mix Flip. And this mini morpho looks like hot competition for Motorola's fresh new RAZRs, boasting some proper impressive gaming chops, a bit of Leica branded camera action, and a flipping massive battery. So is this the compact foldable that will even convince bendy skeptics to get on board? Well, let's whip it out of that box, thoroughly test out the gaming chops, the camera tech, all that good stuff. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, what's in that box? Besides, of course, the Xiaomi Mix Flip, well, you've got a respectably dinky 67-watt charger. I got the Chinese model, so it's a 2-pin effort, USB cable. And they've also chucked in a protective case, which comes in 2 parts. Probably worth slapping on if you're a bit of a butterfingers, just to keep this thing from crumbling to dust if you happen to drop it. And that right there is everything you'll find slapped in the box. So let's check out this wee bendy wonder. So the Xiaomi Mix Flip is all set up, ready for action, and the design's certainly very similar to a lot of other recent flippy type phones. It is slightly chonky, of course, when all folded up, but it's still delightfully dinky, will slip into a pocket without excessive encouragement. You got yourself an aluminium alloy frame, which is quite shiny, as you can see there. It gets a wee bit smudgy when it's been fondled and fingered. And that front end is protected by Xiaomi's toughened shield glass, and if you flip it around, you've got a glass rear end as well. This time with a textured matte finish to prevent it from getting all smeary and fingerprinty. And this right here is the purple model, but you can also grab the Xiaomi Mix Flip in white, black, or a special edition nylon fiber effort. Ooh. And that cover screen is a 4-inch AMOLED panel, quad curved, as Xiaomi describes it, because there's a bit of subtle curvature at each of the edges. Although still a wee bit of bezel action there, as you can see. And it is a RAZR style cover screen, because as you can see there, it stretches edge to edge. You've got those camera lenses actually protruding out through it. However, unlike the RAZR, you don't get the option of actually using the full screen when running apps. That section is just automatically blacked out. And this does at least mean that apps run with a more conventional aspect ratio, so I found they're slightly less bulky here than they were on the Motorola RAZR. And it's 1.5K resolution as well, so pleasingly sharp, just like Motorola's RAZR 50 Ultra panel. And of course, as you would expect from an AMOLED panel, bright, punchy, slap you in the face color reproduction. Completely customizable in the display settings. You've even got Dolby Vision HDR support here, so it's just a shame that the only video app I could actually get running was bloody TikTok. I think it really makes full use of that tech. 120Hz refresh as well, so nice and fluid. You can swipe down to access your notifications and a bit of media action, although for some reason this just seems to be completely blanked out. I was kind of hoping you would at least get some media controls chucked in there. And unlike most flippy type phones, you don't swipe left and right to access various widgets. In fact, they're all just slapped right here on the main screen, and you just flick up or down to skim between them. You can customize those widgets by heading into the settings, and the outer screen options are right here at the very top. Got a few wee personalization options here, including a selection of different wallpapers, most of which are a bit arty-farty, to be honest. You can just slap on your own photo, or whatever geeky anime shenanigans you happen to have downloaded. And yes, this is where you tinker with the widget selection as well. So you can see all the widgets you've approved of up there at the top, and then you've got a variety of others. A couple of different clock efforts, some calendar shenanigans, health-based stuff, and a bit of music action too. Although sadly, this doesn't seem to work with Spotify, only with Xiaomi's own built-in music app. And apparently over 200 of the most popular apps are supported on that cover screen. And sadly, because this is the Chinese model, that means I haven't got a whole bunch of my usual apps slapped on here. And this is basically what was available out of the default apps and the handful that I ported over from my previous phone. And of course, most of these apps are Chinese, so I've got absolutely no ruddy clue what most of them are or do, outside of the obvious stuff like TikTok. But yeah, unlike Motorola's RAZR smartphone, for instance, you can't run any app you like on there, which is a bit of a shame. And especially as you've got that kind of stretched aspect ratio anyway, so theoretically most apps should run fine on this thing. Now get your thumbs stuck in that crevice and prise open the Xiaomi Mix Flip, and out pops that 6.86-inch internal display. You got similar specs to that cover screen, so again a 1.5K resolution, keeping those visuals pretty crispy. Maxes out at 120Hz refresh rate, got full Dolby Vision support. And yeah, you got a highly reflective screen protector slapped on here as usual with foldable phones. But as you can see there, the screen brightness is powerful enough to counter any sunlight or super harsh studio lighting. So at least you can still see what the ruddy X going on. And of course, yes, it's your usual HyperOS experience on here. Of course, I've got the Chinese model, so no Google services, sadly. But when this does launch globally, you'll have all that slapped on there as usual. You can drag down your notifications bar. There's also a separate control center as always. And yes, good bit of apps tree action, so you can hide away all your various bits. As you can see, quite a lot of random crapware stuffed on the Chinese version. I'm expecting the global model to be much the same. And then plenty of personalization as always. Got lots of themes that you can slap on here, including a wide variety that you can download from online, most of which are kind of batshit mental, but you know, in an enjoyable way. To actually unlock the Xiaomi Mix Fold, you've got an edge-mounted fingerprint sensor built into that power button like most other flippy phones. As for the performance, well, that comes courtesy of Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, an absolute beefcake you'll find crammed into some of the best flagships of 2024, and some of the best flippy phones as well, including Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 6. Although sadly not Motorola's RAZR 50 Ultra, that uses a slightly pared down version of this chipset. But the Xiaomi Mix Flip can handle the latest, most demanding Android titles out there, including a bit of Zenless Zone Zero, Zoneless Zen Zero, whatever the hell this bloody thing's called. And the good news is you've got a big old vapor chamber crammed into that flexible frame, as well as a double layer of graphite by the old hinge-hole region. So you can absolutely smash your way through your favorite games for an hour, 2 hours, until the Xiaomi Mix Flip's battery runs dry, basically, and this thing won't overheat. And you've also got yourself some proper smarty pants AI type bollocks as well, including real-time offline translation, just like what you'll find on Samsung's Galaxy Z Flippy thing. And just like that Samsung effort, it is rather hit and miss, to say the least. But hey, did it that time. And apparently you've got a similar antenna setup here in the Mix Flip to the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, which is pretty impressive considering what an absolute ruddy behemoth that thing was. Obviously this is a wee bit more dinky. Full Wi-Fi 7 support as well, which seems to be working an absolute charm, no issues there. And the battery life on this flippy blower is frankly marvelous. One of the best I've seen on this style of device. You've got an almost 4,800 milliampere capacity cell crammed into that rather compact chassis. That's bloody loads bigger than what you'll find stuffed inside of the Samsung and the Motorola rivals. So that means you get plenty of screen on time. Even when using that mighty internal panel, no worries at all. As long as you're fully charged in the morning, you should still have some juice remaining when you faceplant your pillow and get all tucked up with Teddy at night time. And if you are running low at any point, well, no worries. You've got 67 watt wired charging support as well. So just bung a cable in it for 10-20 minutes and you'll get a significant bit of power back. But yeah, sadly, no wireless charging support here. So it's cables all the way. So let's finish this flipping lovely video with a squint at the camera tech. And what you've got slapped on the front end of the Xiaomi Mix Flip here is a dual 50 megapixel setup. You've got a Light Fusion 800 sensor for the primary shooter, and then with a quick tap here you can swap to that secondary telephoto snapper with 2x optical zoom, so it's a similar setup to the Motorola RAZR 50 Ultra. And of course it's Leica branded tech, so that means you've got those Leica filters to piddle about with. I like to keep it on the Leica Natural, the Leica Authentic as it's known. You can also swap up to the Leica Vibrant if you want things to be a bit more punchy, poppy. And of course, naturally, you've got a selection of different camera modes as well, including the obligatory portrait mode. You've got the pocket mirror mode, which surely doesn't do anything different from just regular photo mode, but okay. And here's just a handful of sample photos I snapped with the Leica Natural mode using the Xiaomi Mix Flip over the past 24 hours or so. As always, a capable Wii shooter, as you would expect from Xiaomi, even in more tricky and lower light situations. And if you want to shoot a wee bit of video action, well, you can do that at up to 4K resolution when the phone is folded up like so. There is an 8K option, but you do have to unfurl this beast in order to get that on the go. And even then, you are limited to just 6 minutes of shooting. And if you flip this phone open, you've got a 32 megapixel selfie shooter housed inside that massive internal display. Again, you can capture up to 4K resolution footage at 60 frames per second, which is what I'm doing right now. And the audio pickup's absolutely fine, absolutely no issues there whatsoever. Perfect for your bit of video chat shenanigans. Or you can simply use that main dual camera setup to shoot your bit of vlogging action as well. You can prop up the phone, get the perfect angle, or not so much as the case may be. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is the fresh new Xiaomi Mix Flip. Certainly one of the most impressive flippy type phones when it comes to battery life, performance, and you got some solid camera tech slapped on there as well. Hopefully we'll be coming to global markets soon to get all your googly type shenanigans on there as well. Be interesting to see how many Google apps are supported by that there cover screen. Anyway, what do you reckon of the Xiaomi Mix Flip? It would be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone. Love you.